How's it going, everyone? I hope everyone had a great day in the markets. I hope you were able to finish green on the day. And so, in this installment of my weekly trading psychology series, I'm going over creating a plan and journaling your trades. Okay, so diving right into it, let's go over creating a plan. When you create a plan, it takes the unknown variable of fear away from you. Okay, now fear can come in two different ways. It can come with FOMO, fear of missing out. You don't know where to enter. And then it can also come with how much money you're going to lose. You're scared to lose money. Okay. So as a trader, you control three things. You control your entry, when you enter a trade for whether you're long or short, and when you exit a trade for profit or loss. Let's go over fear for both of those real quick and how creating a plan gives yourself structure, and it can help neutralize that unknown variable so you can stop giving it, or you can stop giving fear your important mental capital, and stop giving fear or stop feeding your mental energy into that emotion, in other words. So as far as entry goes, when you know ahead of time where you want to place your trade, whether it's long or short, it takes away fear. You know exactly where you want to place a trade. Everything else around that is noise. Okay? Until price meets your entry, you do not care what the market is doing. You are waiting patiently. You have no fear. You have no worry what the market is doing because you're waiting for the market to come to you. For people who don't know when to enter a trade, you're going to experience FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO will lead you, in some cases, to chase these large impulse moves during trending markets that don't offer high reward. And instead, they will offer low reward with very high risk. And it can be easy to lose money on these large impulse moves because you're not in the move already. So instead, you're chasing, and it's a low probability entry. Okay, now as far as the exit goes, the fear of losing money, you need to enter a trade with a predetermined stop loss. It's really easy. If you're trading E-mini or MES, you go in with limit orders. Okay, you're going to be automatically stopped out. For options, it's a little bit different. You have to use a mental stop loss. This is why you predetermine your stop loss. When you predetermine the worst case scenario being a losing trade, you go in ahead of time knowing how much money you are going to lose. Okay, that creates the unknown variable. Okay, if you're using a 5-point stop loss trading ES, you know you're going to lose $250, right? That is the worst case scenario. Okay, likewise, if you're day trading SPY, let's say your stop loss is 15%. Okay, break down below support, whatever. You know going into that SPY call position, you're going to lose 15% maximum. You no longer have to worry about the unknown, which is losing untold amount of money. You instead enter the trade with a predetermined stop loss. You take away that unknown variable, you're able to neutralize it, and you stop giving fear your mental energy. And instead, you're able to focus on new opportunities the market is presenting in the now moment when you're able to redirect that mental energy. Okay? Moving on, for creating a plan, it gives you're placing yourself in a position to succeed. Okay? You're giving yourself the best optimal entry for success, and by success I mean a winning trade, right? So if you long at the golden fib, you identify that level, wait hours or minutes ahead of time, whatever, you wait for price to come to you. That is the optimal entry for success. And when you enter, you're going in with a predetermined stop loss, so you don't have to worry about incurring a large drawdown because you already know how much money you're going to lose. You already know what the worst case scenario is. Okay, and placing yourself in a position to succeed, as I just said, it's going to be a managed loss. Okay, in other words, a managed loss is a good loss. You're not blowing 50% of your account on something that you didn't anticipate. When you take a managed loss, it will have far less negative impacts on your mental edge. Okay, when you incur a 50% drawdown in your account, that can have longer lasting, painful memories on your mental edge as a trader, and it can create long-term damage as well. When you go into a trade with the worst case scenario identified and you go in with a predetermined stop loss, you don't have to worry about causing long-term damage to your mental edge as a trader. Okay, so now moving on to journaling trades. You basically need to be a constructive critic of yourself. Okay, you need to be honest with yourself. How did you perform today? Okay, we're human. We're not going to be perfect. We are not a computer. You need to understand that about yourself. So I don't want you to be harsh or brutal on yourself and with your self-critique. Okay, it's okay to make mistakes. You learn from them. As long as you don't keep repeating the same mistake over and over and over again, that's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to be wrong as a trader. It's never okay to stay wrong. And so that's why you need to be constructive with yourself. Okay? Through losing trades, you're going to learn what went wrong. How can you improve? You're going to figure all of that out through losing trades. Remember, trading is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So it's okay to learn these mental mistakes as time goes on because you're preparing yourself for a better future. You're preparing yourself to be successful down the road. It may not show right away the following day or the next week, but a year from now, you will look back when you review your journal through constructive criticism, through being honest with yourself. Hey, look how many I took 20 steps forward after taking this step back a year ago. Okay, that's the kind of constructive criticism that you're going to be able to see, and it's going to pay huge dividends for yourself in the long term. Okay, journaling your trades and being constructive with yourself means you're also going to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Where are your strengths as a trader and where are your weaknesses? Now, if you consistently notice that as your personal weakness is trading the first hour of the day, that is where your personal weakness is, then over time you'll come to realize I don't need to trade the first hour of the day and there's still 5-6 hours left in the day. I can still make my money. So you can learn over time, of course, through journaling. I can sit back and watch the action of the first hour, and then I build a trading plan, or then I identify where my key setups are for the rest of the session. Okay? And then you let the trades come to you for the rest of the day. Likewise, you're going to be able to find over time your strengths. Where do you consistently have success as a trader? Trade to your strengths. That is something people will not tell others. Okay, the so-called quote-unquote leaders of the trading community. They're going to tell you to work on your weaknesses. You need to fix your weaknesses to become a better trader. That's not necessarily always the case. Okay, instead of giving your weaknesses your precious mental capital and mental energy, why not divert that into your strengths as a trader? Why not focus on your edge and where your strong suits are and learn to exponentially grow them and capitalize on them? Okay? That's where you should be directing your mental energy. If you see that your weakness as a trader is present in the market, instead of trying to fix it and instead of trying to force yourself to be better at it, just don't give any mental capital to it. Don't trade. If you know your weakness is present, such as the first hour of the session, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern, just don't trade. It's that simple. Don't give it any of your mental energy, because we, as traders and as humans, we only come into each session with so much mental capital, with so much energy to give to the markets before we start to be burnt out and before our decision making and analytical and our objective analysis starts to get a little fuzzy and we start to get tired. And that's just because it's natural. We're human. Okay, so instead of giving energy into your weaknesses, instead divert it into your strengths and learn how you can grow and build on your strengths. Okay, that's something that not a lot of people say, but I hope it hits a chord with you and you're able to build on your own strengths. Okay, so journaling trades, it's also a form of discipline. Journaling every single day is a form of discipline. You need to ingrain it into your daily habits. Consistently profitable, successful traders who have been here for years will tell you they journal every single day. Okay, even if it means they did not take a trade, they're still going to journal. Now, I'm not saying if you're on family vacation and whatnot, you need to journal. Okay, but if you sit at your desk for half the session or the whole session and you come to realize that your edge was not present, in a high probability setup that fits your edge and fits your system never presented itself, that's something you write down. No trades today. Why? It was a high probability setup was not present. So be it. That's perfectly acceptable. You still journaled and you're ingraining the habit into your subconscious. Okay, and you also want to how do I word this? You also want to mimic successful traders, okay? So successful traders, they're disciplined in their trading habits. They're disciplined in their journals, okay? They journal every single day. You want to mimic successful traders, and part of that comes with being disciplined and journaling every single day. And so last but not least, when we look at journaling trades, this is another thing that I think a lot of people miss the mark on in the trading community. Forget the numbers, okay? There's too much focus on profit and loss as a trader. And then when you get into the nitty gritty stuff as like timestamps and your fills, especially when people talk about like a Google spreadsheet and whatnot, that stuff isn't necessarily that important at the end of the day. Instead, I want you to focus on what was your mental thought process like before the trade, during the trade, and after the trade. Specifically, did you experience some of the more fringe emotions that come with trading, such as euphoria or anger? Okay, did you end up hitting a really big win of, let's say, 100 to 200% on SPX calls? Okay, are you feeling euphoria? If so, that is something important to note. Maybe you shouldn't trade the next day. Let yourself cool off, transfer your hard-earned profit out of your trading account, and come back a couple days later once that euphoric feeling settles itself and you no longer feel like that, okay? Plus, you pay yourself at the same time. On the flip side, are you angry? Did you incur a big loss? Did you break your rules? Are you angry? Okay, that's something to write down. That is something to take note of in your trading, okay? Record the mental thought process that you have behind your trades, okay? Record the emotions that you have. Don't put so much time, or don't put so much focus on the numbers, okay? Instead, focus on the process, focus on your mental thought process specifically before, during, and after the trade, and the money will follow, okay? Focus on the process and then the profits will follow. That's been said around the trading community before. That is very true, okay? Focus on the process, focus what's going on inside your head, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, before, during, and after the trade. That is more important than what your fill was at and what time your fill was in the afternoon, okay, on like SPY calls or whatever. Your fill of $1.23 on SPY calls at 3:33 in the afternoon for a 2-minute scalp isn't necessarily that important as far as did you experience euphoria or did you experience anger after the trade. All right. So that is it for this quick video. I hope you were able to learn a thing or two. I hope this was able to provide value for you as a trader. If you did enjoy this video, if you did find value, I would greatly appreciate liking this video, and of course subscribing to my new channel. If you have any questions for anything I talked about during this video, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer.